A dream is not what you see in your sleep. It is the thing that doesn't let you sleep. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam says this, and I'm sure you are working hard for realizing your dreams. Hello everyone, my name is Chandraprakash Joshi. Very welcome to ixamBee, the only platform that makes your preparation 50% faster. That is the content we provide you. That is the strategy we provide you. Makes your preparation 50% faster. In this video, we are discussing another 20 questions. This is part 14 of the video. This is the question I asked. As per the constitution, you have to tell the article of the constitution. The vacancy of the president has to be filled before the expiration of the term of the president. So the seat cannot be remain vacant for the president, and this is article 62 of the constitution. The term of the current president Shri Ramnath Kovind is ending on 24th July. Election Commission announced that the 16th presidential election will be held on 18th July and counting of the votes will be held on 21st July. RBI has unveiled a composite legal payment index what measures the penetration of the digital payment in India. Which of the following is not one of the 5 parameters of DPI, Digital Payment Index? Demand side factors, supply side, cyber security, payment performance, consumer centricity. One of them is not there, and that is cyber security. Which are these 5 factors? Are demand side, payment infrastructure, supply side factors, payment performance, and consumer centricity. RBI DPI index was set up in March 18 as the base period with the score set as 100. Composite digital payment index to measure the extent of digitization of the payments in India. These are the component of payment index, parameters and sub-parameters, payment enablers, payment infrastructure, demand side, supply side, payment performance, and consumer centricity. And if you take 100 as a base of 2018, so today we are at 300 plus. September 21 is 304. As per this index, Comptroller and Auditor General of India (CAG) is a constitutional body under Article 148 of the Indian Constitution. Which of the following statement is false regarding the CAG? Is appointed by the President of the India and can be removed from the office only in the manner and on the ground that a judge of the Supreme Court is removed. The expenses on the administration of the office of the CAG include all allowances, salary, pension would be charged to the Consolidated Fund of the India. CAG can audit all receipt and expenditure from the Consolidated Fund of India and of the state and union territories. It can also audit any private company deemed fit. So why CAG will audit a private company? You may find this question is not a very common question of RBI because it says detailed information about the CAG. But if you apply your logic, what is the role of the CAG? CAG is to audit government's accounts. Why a private company is coming into the force here? So this becomes the obvious choice. CAG is appointed for a period of 6 years or until attaining the age of 65 years, whichever is earlier. In fact, I am also not aware of it. But the choice of the option, by reading the question, I would have skipped it, but by reading the options, it's easy to answer. It has powers to audit all received expenditure from the Consolidated Fund of India and of the state and union territories, all transactions relating to the contingency fund and public account, all trading, manufacturing, profit and loss account and balance sheet and other subsidiary account kept in any department. So this is regarding again government. All stores and stock of the government offices and the department, accounts of all government companies set up under the Indian Companies Act. Here, I will tell you an interesting fact. CAG is not auditing RBI. The RBI is also a government organization. I cannot call it a company. But CAG, because RBI does its internal inspection separately, this has been a point of discussion. But because RBI is such a well-branded organization and the operations has been so clean. In fact, there have been questions raised sometime on the functionality of the CAG. So people also feel, government also feels it appropriate that RBI is self-inspected. Accounts of all central government corporations whose act provide for audit of the CAG. Accounts of all authorities and bodies substantially funded from the Consolidated Fund. So all these can be audited by the CAG. RBI's balance sheet also certified by the Chartered Accountant. So that is the audit of the banking department. Recently, the Government of India, Government of West Bengal and World Bank signed 105 million project to improve the inland water transport infrastructure in Kolkata. Which of the following objective doesn't belong to the World Bank Group? You see, this new diagram has actually nothing to do with the question asked. It provides loan, credit and grant. So what World Bank Group does? Yes, it is correct. It provides low or zero interest loan to low income countries. Correct. It ensures lenders and investors again political risks such as war. I doubt this. So right now I am marking this as an answer. It settles investment dispute between investors and countries. Perfectly right. It settles trade related disputes between the member countries. So you will feel that trade related disputes are mostly settled by WTO. Correct. But you have to choose between this and C. So I am evaluating these two. Political risk insurance available in World Bank. So this is pure WTO function. Multilateral Guarantee Agency MIGA ensures lenders and investors against political risks such as war. It is, so if you know these 5 institutions in the World Bank Group, IBRD is to provide loan, credit and grant. IDA is for low interest loan to low income countries. IFC does investment, including the investment in private companies. And MIGA is to ensure lenders and investors against political risk. ICSID settles investment disputes between investors and countries. So, investment related dispute, trade related dispute will go to WTO. As per this 1944 Bretton Woods Conference, July 1 to 12, this conference was held. Delegates from 44 nations were there, and today 189 member countries in World Bank Group, having these 5 institutions. Recently, the Finance Ministry has provided additional financial assistance worth rupees 1,004 crores to Andhra Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh for bringing various reforms, including the urban local bodies. Which schedule of the Indian Constitution deals with the ULBs, urban local bodies or municipalities? The correct answer here is 12th schedule. You have to remember this. The schedule was added as a 74th amendment in 1992. 7th schedule is 3 list, union list, state list, concurrent list. 8th schedule official language. 10th is the anti-deflection and 11th is panchayat. The Ministry of the Port recently declared that it is implementing rupees 320 crore project for 5 major ports in order to provide a digital port ecosystem. Which of the following statement about major port is not correct? India has total 13 major ports. Major ports are administered by the central government. Minor and intermediate ports are administered by the respective state government. The classification of the Indian port into major, minor and intermediate has been strictly done on the basis of traffic volume. I doubt that. And this looks like a clear choice because we understand the significance of port will always be there for the defense, for the navy of the country. So it cannot be strict association with the traffic volume. The classification is done into major, minor and intermediate based on the administrative significance. The maritime transport falls under the concurrent list of the constitution. Thus, it is to be administered by both central and the state. Major ports are managed by Union Shipping Ministry and the minor ports are administered by the relevant department or ministry in the 9 coastal states. That is also correct. Which of the following organization is mandated to develop minor forest produce? APEDA, TriFed, NAFED, NABARD. I think again here, if you understand the full form of this which is given here and what they do, this becomes easier question. It is about the forest product. So Tribal Cooperative Marketing Development and Federation of India, TriFed, is the right agency here. Cooperative, which came into existence in 1987, national level apex organization functioning under the administrative control of the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. Ultimate objective is TriFed is to socio-economic development of the tribal people in the country by way of marketing development of the tribal product such as metal craft, tribal textile, pottery, tribal painting. Minor forest produce development and retail marketing and development. Minor forest product is an important source of livelihood for tribal people. These includes non-timber forest produce of plant origin like bamboo, canes, fodder, leaves, gums, wax, dyes, resins and many other. Food including nuts, wild fruits, honey, lac, tusar, etc. Tussar. Which of the following statement about the geographical indications tag is false? GI tag is a name or sign given to a certain product that relates to a specific geographical location or origin. Correct. Only handicraft and fruit produce are eligible for such a tag. I think again the answer options making it easy here. Always have to remember very careful about only, all, such a qualifying word. You must be knowing many other product get GI tag. GI are covered as a component of the IPR, correct, under the Paris Convention for the Protection of the Intellectual Property. It is issued by the Geographical Indication Registry. It comes under the Ministry of the Commerce and Industry. Now you know that which is the right answer, option B. Geographical indications are typically used for wine, spirit drinks, food stuff, agriculture product, handicraft, industrial product. I covered also one question that for which product there are highest number of GI tag. You must watch the complete series. Recently, SEBI called for implementation of the framework for uniformity in applicability of the net asset value across various schemes. Which of the following statement regarding the NAV is not true? In mutual fund, we talk about the net asset value. NAV represents funds per share market value. Is it per share? It is calculated by dividing the total value of the value of all the cash and securities in a fund's portfolio minus any liabilities by the number of the outstanding share. You have to reply what is not true. So these two are true. NAV and market price of a mutual fund are two different things. Perfect. NAV necessarily depicts the performance of the fund. Always be careful about such words. Necessarily. It depicts performance but not necessarily. NAV is the market value of a mutual fund unit. The overall cost of a mutual fund depends on the market value per fund unit. If you add up the market value of all the shares in the fund and divide by the number of the total mutual fund unit, the resulting figure is called NAV. NAV and market price are two different things. Market price fluctuates every minute, whereas NAV is decided at the end of the each business day. NAV alone doesn't show the performance of the fund. Which of the following statement regarding the PM Fasal Bima Yojana is false? The scheme is administered by the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. It has replaced three schemes: NAIS, NAMAIS, NMAIS, WBCIS. Horticulture crops are not insured in the scheme. One of the objectives of the scheme is to encourage farmers to adopt innovative and modern agriculture practice. None of the above. Horticulture crops are not insured in this scheme. Objective of the schemes are, please read this again. I have covered in various questions and also told about 2% premium to be paid for Kharif and 1.5% for Rabi crop. You have to read it again if you have not read. Obicus survey is sometimes in news with respect to the manufacturing sector. What does C stand in Obicus? Full form you have to know, and then it's an easy one. Obicus, so here C stands for capacity, order books, inventories and capacity utilization survey done by RBI. RBI conduct this survey for the manufacturing sector on quarterly basis since 2008. The survey represents the movement in actual data on order books, inventory levels and raw material and finished good and capacity utilization. Inventory is the amount of goods held by a company. Capacity utilization refers to the manufacturing and production capabilities that are being utilized. Say for example, if a factory has an ability to say manufacture 1000 units in a day, but it is producing 500, it means demand is less. Same way, order books and inventories, all these tells what is actually happening in the economy. The survey gives out the ratio of the total inventories to the sales and ratio of the raw material and finished good inventories to sale in percentage. These are important indicators to measure the economic activity, inflation pressure and the overall business cycle. Which of the following statement regarding IREDA, Indian Renewable Energy Development Agency, is not true? It comes under the Ministry of MNRE. One of the main objectives of the agency is to give financial support to renewable energy and energy efficiency project. Financial support. It is registered as NBFC with RBI. It involves in financing only in hydro and solar. Makes the question easy now. Keyword here only. I am telling you the technique. Sometimes knowledge may be less, but you have to learn how to identify the correct answer. So it is registered, yes, as an NBFC, non-bank financial institution, and provide financial assistance for renewable energy like wind, hydro, bio, solar, energy efficiency and conservation, new emerging technologies, waste to energy, all are there. Mother's Absolute Affection program is aimed at bringing focus on mental health among rural population, bringing focus on mental health of young mothers, bringing focus on the age of marriage among rural girls, bringing focus on promotion of the breastfeeding. Mother's Absolute Affection. And if you are still not using ixamBee's resource, which is making your preparation 50% faster, do it. We provide you mock test for free. We provide you BPDA daily, weekly and monthly, so that you prepare fast, you read what is relevant. Bringing focus on promotion of the breastfeeding is the aim of this program. Awareness generation, promotion of breastfeeding and interpersonal counseling at community level, skill support for breastfeeding at delivery point and monitoring and award recognition. Through which of the following processes a privately owned company turns into a public company by issuing share directly to the public in a new stock issuance? Very simple question. First time a company issues share, that is called IPO, initial public offering, and that is how a private company becomes a public company. Public company means when the shares are held by public. FPO is follow on offer. Next time company sells more share. Offer on sale. Under this method, securities are not issued directly to the public but are offered for sale through intermediaries like maybe brokers or some other institutions who are interested in buying the securities. Qualified institutional placement QIP is also selling the shares in this listed company can issue equity. It can be some part of the equity, fully or partly convertible debentures or any other security that is convertible into shares. It is a private placement, means sold to some investor in a large amount. The central government and state government use this to determine the dearness allowance paid to its employee. Whenever you come to job, so you say DA बढ़ गया. Now DA has increased. So how this DA is calculated? And DA is reflected on inflation. So it increases with the inflation. CPI for industrial worker is taken into account for this. So when there is more inflation, there will be more increase in the DA, because the name suggests dearness allowance. So costly goods become costlier, dearer. So the DA is given on that. CPI for industrial workers is used here. It is most relevant because agriculture labor, rural urban combined will not be most appropriate. Recently, the Environment Ministry released management effectiveness evaluation of 146 national park and wildlife sanctuaries in the country. Which of the following is the difference between a wildlife sanctuary and a national park? National park and wildlife sanctuaries are favorite topic of RBI. Human activities are allowed in wildlife sanctuary, whereas no human activity is allowed in a national park. Wildlife sanctuaries has no fixed boundary, whereas fixed boundary in case of the national park. A sanctuary can be upgraded into national park but not vice versa. National park can include flora, fauna or any other object of historical geographical significance, but not wildlife sanctuary. To protect a particular flora, fauna only. All of the above is the correct answer. Understand the difference between a wildlife sanctuary which has no fixed boundary. Wildlife sanctuary, human activities are allowed. Aim is to protect flora and fauna. There is no fixed boundary. It is open to general public. Sanctuaries are usually formed by the order of the center of the state government. Sanctuary can be upgraded to a national park. National park cannot be downgraded to a sanctuary. Boundaries are fixed, not usually open to the public. Formed by the state and central legislature. Human activities are not allowed. Which of the following statement about are CS Udan scheme is not true. It was launched in 16. It is administered by the Ministry of Civil Aviation. Its main aims is to operationalize and develop underserved and unserved airports. The scheme duration is 10 years. The value gap funding under the scheme is for both cargo and for passenger airline. This is not true. उड़े देश का हर नागरिक was launched in 2016 by the Prime Minister. Launched as a regional connectivity scheme. Objective is to develop the regional aviation market to provide affordable, economically viable and profitably air travel on regional routes. The scheme envisages providing connectivity to unserved and underserved airports in the country. The scheme is operational for a period of 10 years. Underserved airports are those which do not have more than one flight a day, while unserved airports are those who have no regular operations. Financial incentive from the central, state government and airport operators are extended to selected airline to encourage operations from unserved and underserved airport and keep airfares affordable. Value gap funding is not provided to cargo airline. It is for passengers. This scheme is a part of the National Civil Aviation Policy and is funded jointly by Government of India and state government. So this is to help passengers to people. Which of the following statement regarding the domestic systematically important bank is not true? We often talk about DSIBs. RBI announces DSIB. This is true. There are 3 DSIBs. You have to remember that 3 domestic bank, SBI, ICICI and HDFC. DSIBs are subject to certain regulatory relaxation from the central bank. Is it regulatory relaxation or regulatory tightening? The indicators that are used for assessment are size, interconnectedness, substitutability and complexity. None of the above. So you know the correct answer. It is not a difficult question. Just by reading the option you can find out. These banks are here to know the systemic risk, systemic importance of these banks. Financial Stability Board is an international body that monitors and makes recommendations about the global financial system. It was established in 2009. India is a member of Financial Stability Board. Financial Stability Board, in consultation with the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision and national authorities, has identified global systematically important bank, GSIB. So similar line we have domestic DSIBs are subject to additional policy measures to deal with the systemic risk and moral hazard issues posed by them. Which of the following is the most appropriate explanation of the business ethics? Business ethics are defined as decisions organizations make on issues that could be considered right or wrong. Is that ethical thing? The study of business situations, activities and decisions where issues of right and wrong are addressed. Ethical processes is business used in order to achieve a good ethical standard. This is looking like a general statement. Ethics that can be applied to an organization practices. So from the given option you can figure it out now that it is about the business situations, activities and decisions where issues of right and wrong are addressed. That kind of situation is study of business ethics. Easy one. The objective of the human resource management function is, in management, questions are easy, but it is confusing also. So you have to understand well. Study management and do MCQs. Very, very important. So HRM is to ensure that the human resource possesses adequate capital, tool and equipment to perform the job. Help the organization deal with its employees in different stages of employment. Improve an organization creditworthiness among the financial institutions. Improve the market value of the company on the basis of the corporate governance. Objective of HRM to help the organization deal with its employees in different stages of the employment. See, because creditworthiness among financial institutions. Think for a company which has not taken any loan from a bank. Why it is important for the HR of that company? Improve the market value of the company on the basis of the corporate governance. There are small companies which has nothing to do with the market value because the company is not listed. Its shares are not available. And it is a small company. Corporate governance is still not a big issue there. Corporate governance comes in big corporate. So that is how you have to eliminate the options. Ensure that human resource possesses adequate capital for human resource, tool and equipment to perform the job. This is one of the part, but you cannot say HR has this as a very main objective. And what does it mean by adequate capital for HR itself is a capital, right? So the option B becomes the best choice. The objective of the HRM function is to help organization attain its goal by providing skilled, well-trained, motivated human resource in helping achieving the organization goal. Now read this case and comment. Vikram had joined the sales team of an insurance company 2 months ago. However, he was missing his target again and again. To understand the problem, Avinash, his manager, scheduled time to sit down with Vikram and individually break down each step of a successful sales call. Avinash hopes to help Vikram identify where he can make specific changes in his sales call and improve. Here, Avinash is acting as figurehead, leader, liaison, evaluator, monitor. What role Avinash is playing? The question is not very difficult, but at the same time, similar sounding answer options make it little tricky. You write in the comment. I will come in the last video. All the best for your preparation. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not done it till now. It always seems impossible until it is done. Nelson Mandela says this. I wish you will crack the exam and become RBI Grade B officer. Remember ixamBee for preparing 50% faster.